August 20th, 1989. It was a night that would forever be etched into the annals of Beverly Hills history. The air was thick with an eerie calm, the kind that precedes a storm. Little did the residents know, a storm was indeed brewing, one that would shatter their sense of security and leave an indelible mark on their community. The deafening roar of a shotgun blast tore through the stillness of the night, a sound so jarring it seemed to split the very fabric of reality. It was a sound that would haunt the dreams of those who heard it, a sound that signaled the beginning of a nightmare, shattering the illusion of peace in the affluent enclave of Beverly Hills. The blast was a stark reminder that even the most serene and opulent places are not immune to violence. The homes, with their manicured lawns and high walls, suddenly seemed vulnerable, their facades of security crumbling in the face of such brutality. Panic-stricken cries followed, echoing through the night like the wails of lost souls. These cries, filled with terror and confusion, were abruptly silenced by another blast, even more deafening than the first. The reloading of the shotgun, a chilling sound in itself, signaled that the horror was far from over. The luxurious mansion, once a symbol of wealth and success, was now a tomb. Its grand halls and opulent rooms, which had once hosted lavish parties and echoed with laughter, were now scenes of chaos and despair. The disarray within mirrored the shattered lives of those who had once called it home. Forever marked by the brutal murders that took place within its walls, the mansion stood as a grim reminder of that fateful night. The yellow crime scene tape fluttered in the breeze, a stark contrast to the grandeur of the estate. Inside, police meticulously combed through the evidence, piecing together the events that had led to such a tragic end. The investigation would be long and arduous, but the scars left on the community would last even longer. As detectives scribbled notes and officers discussed the unfolding tragedy, the weight of the night's events began to sink in. The community, once a beacon of affluence and tranquility, was now a scene of heartbreak and horror. The investigation would uncover layers of deceit, betrayal, and unimaginable violence, forever altering the lives of those involved. As the sun set over Beverly Hills, casting long shadows over the once idyllic neighborhood, the true extent of the tragedy began to emerge. A family, torn apart by violence, left behind a legacy of pain and unanswered questions. The night of August 20th, 1989 would be remembered not just for the horror it brought, but for the deep, lasting impact it had on the community and the lives it touched. Jose and Kitty Menendez, self-made millionaires living the American dream, were found brutally murdered in their den. Their sons, Lyle and Erik, handsome and seemingly inconsolable, became the center of the investigation. The initial shock and outpouring of sympathy soon gave way to suspicion, as investigators began uncovering inconsistencies in the brothers' accounts of the night their parents were murdered. The crime scene was grisly. Jose Menendez, a powerful entertainment executive, was shot multiple times in the head and body, his body riddled with lead. Kitty, found slumped nearby, had been shot in the leg and face. The sheer brutality of the attack pointed to a crime of passion, fueled by rage and hatred. As the investigation intensified, a darker picture began to emerge. What initially seemed like a straightforward case of a tragic family loss was turning into something far more sinister and complex. The deeper the detectives dug, the more unsettling the revelations became. Hidden beneath layers of family secrets and lies, a chilling narrative was beginning to unfold. Lyle and Erik, initially portrayed as victims, were now suspects. The brothers, who had once garnered public sympathy, were now under intense scrutiny. Their every move, every word was being analyzed. The community was in shock. How could these young men who seemed so devastated by their parents' deaths now be implicated in such a heinous crime? The evidence was mounting, and it painted a disturbing picture. Their lavish spending sprees in the months following the murders, coupled with their seemingly emotionless demeanor, fueled public speculation. The brothers were seen purchasing luxury items, dining at expensive restaurants, and living a life of excess. This behavior was in stark contrast to the grieving sons they had initially appeared to be. The public and the media were captivated by the unfolding drama. Then came the bombshell. In a stunning turn of events, the brothers confessed to the murders, but claimed they acted in self-defense after years of horrific abuse at the hands of their parents. The courtroom was stunned into silence. The brothers detailed a harrowing history of physical, emotional, and sexual abuse. They described a household ruled by fear and violence. Their confessions were met with a mix of disbelief and empathy. The case took on a new dimension, raising questions about the cycle of abuse and the lengths to which victims might go to escape their tormentors. The trial became a media sensation, with every twist and turn broadcast to a captivated audience. The brothers' fate now lay in the hands of the jury, who had to decide whether their actions were justified or if they were cold-blooded killers. The prosecution argued that Lyle and Erik murdered their parents out of greed, to inherit their vast fortune. They presented evidence of the brothers' lavish spending after the murders, their cold and calculated demeanor, and their attempts to create an alibi. Prosecutors painted a picture of entitlement and evil, of two young men driven by avarice and a thirst for freedom. The defense countered with a narrative of fear and survival. They argued that Lyle and Erik were victims of years of sexual, physical, and emotional abuse, driven to the brink by their parents' tyranny. The brothers took the stand, recounting horrific tales of abuse, painting a chilling portrait of a family shrouded in secrets and tormented by unspeakable acts. The first trials, held separately for each brother, ended in mistrials, the juries hopelessly deadlocked. The nation was captivated, split between those who believed the brothers were cold-blooded killers and those who saw them as victims of abuse, driven to desperate measures. The case ignited a national debate about abuse, family dynamics, and the limits of self-defense. Guilty, a nation divided. The courtroom was a battleground, a microcosm of the larger societal rift that had formed around this case. The Menendez brothers, Lyle and Erik, had become symbols of a deeper, more troubling divide in American society. In a retrial with a new jury and mounting pressure for a conviction, Lyle and Erik Menendez were found guilty of first-degree murder. The new jury, selected with the hope of delivering a definitive verdict, faced immense scrutiny and public pressure. The scales of justice seemed to teeter under the weight of public opinion and media frenzy. The verdict sent shockwaves through the nation, reigniting the debate about the brothers' guilt or innocence. Headlines screamed the news, and television screens across the country broadcast the moment live, capturing the collective gasp of a nation. Outside the courthouse, the crowd was a mix of emotions: shock, anger, relief, and disbelief. Were they cunning manipulators who had fooled the nation, or were they deeply troubled young men who had endured unimaginable suffering? The psychological evaluations and police reports painted a complex picture, one that left many questions unanswered. The brothers' faces, etched with emotion, told a story that words could scarcely capture. The nation remained divided, each side steadfast in its belief as the Menendez brothers' saga continued to unfold. Life after conviction. justice or vengeance. Lyle and Erik Menendez remain incarcerated, their case a haunting reminder of a family shattered by violence and betrayal. The brothers have maintained their innocence, claiming they acted in self-defense. Their story continues to fascinate and divide, a stark reminder of the complexities of human nature and the enduring power of family secrets. Unanswered questions, the enduring mystery. The Menendez brothers' case remains shrouded in unanswered questions. What truly transpired within the walls of that Beverly Hills mansion? Was it cold-blooded murder or an act of desperation? The truth, buried beneath layers of deceit, manipulation, and conflicting narratives, continues to elude us, leaving a lingering sense of unease and a thirst for answers that may never come. Delve deeper into the darkness. Join Gritty Crimes. Unravel the twisted threads of this chilling case and explore other captivating true crime stories on Gritty Crimes. Subscribe now and join our community of crime enthusiasts as we delve into the darkest corners of the human psyche. Like and share to spread the word. The truth is out there, waiting to be discovered.